into one just by using that clip and a breakaway, which is pretty ingenious.
And only a few boats. When I started off, 100 boats went by me.
So we decided we're going to get in a slingshot, and when nobody's looking, we're going to shoot all their baits.
I started doing that. I think I won my first check when I was 11.
All right, guys, welcome back to the Captain's Report. We got another full bus for you today. I'm going to go around and introduce you to a few people. Some of you may know, some of you may not. Got co-hosts Captain Caleb, Carolina Hook and Fly, Captain Quentin, Crazy Girl 2, Captain Jason, Fishzilla, and infamous Captain Jack, Black Diamond, of course, our producer Joe, and someone new to the bus. And we have Captain Robbie with Long Run Fishing Team. We got some cool pier fishing and king tournament fishing stories for you. Let's get into it.
Welcome to the Captain's Report, where the fish are big, the stories are bigger, and nothing is off limits. We're talking wild fishing tales, charter chaos, and the unfiltered side of the industry, straight from the captains who've seen it all. So grab a beer, hold your rods, and tighten those drags, because this ain't your granddaddy's fishing report.
All right, guys. So I know we've got some Oceanside Village people, the OG in the house here. Some
creek rats,
some creek rats, some
dirt.
GC rats, some pier fishers. All right. I want to know, you guys kind of take it way back. How'd y'all get your start on the pier here at Garden City? I know that was like point A, or was there another point from there?
Garden City Pier. I met Jason there.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was, I don't know,
7 or 8.
Seven or eight, probably. Jason was fishing with like a big surf rod and a cork, like a bobber.
Yeah.
And like brim fishing on the pier. And I went up to him and I told him that he was doing it wrong.
Oh.
Yeah.
Hey, man, you're doing this shit wrong. Let me show you how to do this.
Is that how it went?
That's where it started. I had a Jackson rig out at the time, and we used to like throw a 4-ounce sinker, and we would slide a live bait down the line and catch Spanish mackerel and stuff like that. And
but hey, man, let me show you this trick.
I just remember bull whiting fishing with your father.
Yeah, we used to spend all night on the pier, and we would catch coolers full of whiting.
Yeah. Jeez, those are the days, man.
Like you'd show up at we'd start at 4 o'clock in the afternoon?
We would fish all day and fish all night.
Fish all night.
And there was no limits or anything.
Yeah. So that's old Garden City Pier. So
you
spent a lot of you guys younger years on those on the piers running around. But any funny stories while you guys were hanging out? What was some funny ones on the pier?
We're doing Mac Attack, right?
Yeah, Mac Attack.
When was your first King Mackerel?
Oh, off the pier,
Jason's
right?
was before mine, so I'll let him.
Mine was on Surfside, right?
Your first one?
Yeah.
Ever?
Was it Surfside or Garden City?
It was Garden City.
It was Garden City, Jackson rig. Yeah, so the funny thing about the Garden City Pier, if you've never been up there, it's a big bar. They don't really like us king mackerel fishing. It's one of the only piers that doesn't like you. So me and Robbie came up with a Jackson rig system, probably Robbie. But we came up with a system to where you throw basically a lead on a big reel, and then you would slide, basically a clip down it with a piece of, 12 to 15 inch leader with some treble hooks. And then you would basically tie that leader back to your rod. So what it would do is you'd put a live bait on, and the live bait would swim around in circles. When the king would hit it, it would, initially before we used rubber bands, it would break the line. It would go all the way to the bottom, pick that weight up, and then take off. So it was a way, because they told us we couldn't king mackerel fish because
couldn't have an anchor rod.
Couldn't have
and
an
a
anchor
fighting
rod.
Oh, you couldn't have you couldn't have a two rod system. So you guys figured out a one rod.
We figured out a one rod system.
We would do like a the slide down deal like he's talking about, and then I would tie it to like 10-pound test to the rig. Mm-hmm. So when the fish hit it, that just broke. But
now, would you have any kind of like float or anything
pier.
on there, or the live bait actually just kind of?
No, the mono, like 10-pound mono, would control it. So you would have a spool and you would tie it to the railing. Hold your bait on top.
So you had a rod and reel and a not rod and reel, which is
correct.
So kind of think about it this way: we would cast a weight out.
Yeah.
We almost had a shower curtain ring with a rig,
and then slip
that shower curtain ring was on a spool of line that we had in our hand.
Nice.
So we would let it out, get it swimming, and then tie it off, usually
On
to
the
the
railing.
rail.
Yeah, and it didn't matter if that
Yeah.
line broke.
That line's
because your
irrelevant.
shower clip
Yep.
would go to the
Yeah.
weight, and
It
then
would
you're-
slide
and then
down,
you're
pick up the
fighting-
weight,
You're
right,
fighting
and
with
boogie
the
down.
anchor rod.
Correct.
Huh?
Yeah.
That's interesting.
It was a
So
way
you-
around the system. Yeah.
But I mean, we were what?
There's a will, there's a way, man.
We're 9, 10 years old,
Yeah,
and
10, 12,
you know, they're
something.
like, "Hey, you can't do this," and we're like, I mean, that was probably would you say that's probably the start of us saying, okay, we can come up with a better rig or a better system or something?
I remember we both caught a king mackerel doing that, like in that what we just said, like,
Yeah.
and within like a month of each other or something. And we used to at Garden City Pier, they used to have your pictures up there, like with fish that you caught, flounder and trout and redfish or whatever. And they took all our pictures down off the wall, like off the
What?
brag board, and they were so mad at us that shark fishing and just all this stuff.
We
And it
were
was,
basically shunned from the pier.
yeah, we were
That's from Garden City Pier.
from
Yes.
Garden City,
The
and it
OG
was
Pier.
the way I see it. It could have gone the other way. Like they could have promoted that and,
And
been
brought
like,
more
look
people
at these
in.
fish, you
Yeah.
know. And
It was a different time and age. I mean, you're talking about the 90s. I mean,
Yeah.
up there,
Yeah.
you had. He'll tell you some of the greatest fishing lessons I ever learned were from a bunch of older men, not like my family members.
Yeah.
I think so. You had a bunch of old guys that were kind of old salts that kind of showed you the ropes, which I mean, I know I appreciate it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But at the same time, like as soon as you started catching fish and doing all that, it was like, whoa.
Wait
you
a
know,
second.
these kids
you
are.
can't catch more than we're catching. Like,
Yeah.
this
Yeah.
isn't
You're allowed
right.
to be good, but just not better than us.
Yeah.
Now, I got a question, aside. Pop, you're the legend here that goes way back.
Trying to say I'm the old guy.
Yeah, okay. So, do you remember, like, how long has the Garden City Pier been where it's at? Was it here when you came, like, where this area when you were 12? Is that where you maybe started fishing on the pier, or did you go straight to doing the boat thing?
I went straight out here.
Okay, so you never really spent too much time on the pier and got to experience kind of the
I got shunned,
evolution of the
I got
pier.
shunned and run off the pier once.
Oh, yeah? And that
Oh,
was
yeah.
and that was it for you?
It wasn't pretty for the rest of them.
Oh, well, sounds like they're in the same
yeah,
suit.
yeah.
So do you feel like it was the older crowd that was pushing y'all away, or management at the pier?
Management.
Ah, that stinks.
So
Yep.
did you switch? Is that when you switched piers and started going
Eventually, yeah.
Surfside?
There used to be like the Grand Strand Fishing Rodeo back in its heyday. They had a spring and fall pier king mackerel tournament.
Yeah.
And it was all the piers
Oh, that's
competing
cool.
against each other.
How many piers?
7.
Cherry Grove through Garden City.
Okay.
Whatever that is. And Garden City did very well, but Garden City was the only pier out of all of those that did not allow king mackerel fishing regularly, like
So it would allow it for that tournament.
for the tournament only.
For the
But-
tournament
but
only
not
was the only
normal.
time.
But like you couldn't go out there on a Tuesday and set up a king mackerel rig.
Oh, that's sweet.
So I don't have much pier fishing experience, and y'all are saying a king mackerel rig on the pier is how is that different from you called it a Jackson rig?
Yes.
So
So a standard king rig, what I'm doing is I'm taking typically between 11 and a 14-foot rod.
okay,
I have some type of very high-speed reel.
Squidder. Yep.
Is my preference, spinning reel. So you're casting a grappling hook as far as you humanly can throw.
Okay,
You are then tightening up to the maximum level to where the rod is maxed out.
gotcha.
You then have like an international 16 or a 4/0 or a 6/0. You need about 600 yards of line. That basically all you have is a king leader. You have 12 to 20 inches of steel leader with
Okay.
a double hook, triple hook rig,
Gotcha.
whatever it is, and then you have a device to hook it to the first one.
So
And the-
essentially, you're making like a
An
kite
out-
fishing
it's
rig.
an outrigger.
It's like an
You-
outrigger off the
Or
beach.
outrigger.
It's literally a Jackson rig, or what we called it, a Jackson rig, but you have a fighting rod.
We don't
It's-
know who Jackson was.
Yeah.
We don't know.
Yeah.
yeah,
But
Was that from Bob
What
Jackson?
Robbie's saying is he converted the two rod system
into one.
into one
Gotcha.
just by using that clip
Yeah.
and a breakaway, which is pretty
So,
ingenious.
yeah, what Jason's saying is basically there's a anchor rod and there's a fighting rod, and there's a clip that when the fish hits, it breaks
The clip,
off the
Yeah.
anchor rod.
and you're
that
just using
stays.
and you're just fighting the fish
you're
with
fighting
the,
the
with
fish.
Yeah.
Your anchor rod
Yeah.
stays.
Stays.
The only
Yep.
difference really is the pier doesn't move and a boat does, so you can't chase them.
Yeah.
You
Right.
can't. I mean, you're at mercy of. So there's a lot heavier tackle and stuff that come involved with that. Like you're not I mean, the fish gets wrapped around a piling or,
Yeah, so
and your rig's out of the water, so it really doesn't matter. You
yeah.
can use
I've never
whatever.
done much pier fishing either. Like the old man, like I went straight to the boat, so that's always kind of been something for me. Is like, man, you guys have the opportunity to catch some of these bigger, bigger beach fish. That how do you avoid these obstacles that
The
are put in your way?
sharks and the pilings.
How do you
Sharks,
avoid the anchor
pilings,
lines?
the anchor line,
They
the
get
other
cut
guys.
almost every time there's a bite.
There's the other anglers
Yeah.
that are sitting there. I'm sure you got 30
So
or 40 big
typically-
fish flying
Yeah.
at a time. And
Yeah.
So typically the setup, and you have to understand, most of your people who fish on the pier do not fish on a boat. They either get seasick or they don't have
Yeah.
the financial ability to get it. So everything is talked about ahead of time. It's actually the coolest thing ever.
so there's like
Tip.
camaraderie. There's a team
Yes.
Yeah.
effort.
So,
Sure.
look, for example, a reel takes off. You have a blocker and a gaffer.
Okay.
The blocker typically stays in front of you. The blocker, all he's doing is clearing lines. So if there's an anchor rope and you got to go over it, they drop the anchor rope, you go over it. If it goes under, they go under. If there's some recreational fishermen,
I mean,
they'll
a
ask
lot of
them
those
to
fish
reel up.
get gaffed in the surf or
Yeah.
right behind the breakers. You
Yeah.
got a pier full of people.
Yeah.
that
You got to run almost
You're
all
trying
the
to
way down the
move.
pier.
You got
Yeah.
somebody moving problems.
Yeah.
You got the fighter and then the gaffer. And then typically, once the fish get straight up and down, the challenge is to stay ahead of them enough to where once they're going under the pier,
Yeah.
when they go under the pier, that's when you lock them down and stop them.
Yeah.
And that's the point that you either catch them or you lose them.
Yeah, because it's treble hooks at the end of
Yeah,
the day.
you-
I mean,
yeah.
Once you lock them down, most
Kingfish.
of them you're going to pull the hooks.
Yeah.
You want to see something hilarious?
Yeah.
Is be up there on the pier when one of those rods go off.
Mm-hmm.
I can imagine.
Oh, yeah,
From what
you
it
got-
sounds like, it
you
sounds
got
like a football
guys-
play to me. You got blockers and linebackers.
They're not
and
sure
receivers
whose
and-
rod it is,
Yeah,
so you got
yeah.
like 8 guys running, tripping over tackle boxes, dropping everything.
And I mean,
they
it's got to be pretty damn exciting too, not only for the person catching the fish, but everybody else too.
It's
'cause
a
the-
huge crowd.
Yeah.
Like,
Well, listen too. It's a pier, and there's guys that fish up there for months or even a year. They don't get a bite
Yeah.
from
Yeah.
a king mackerel.
Yeah.
I mean, seriously.
Yeah.
Like we expect on boats to catch them every day. That we target them or whatever. But
So what this reminds me of talking about a lot of people is headboat fishing.
it sounds very similar.
It's very similar because you get something hooked up on a drift rod, king or a wahoo, and you're making laps. I mean, we wouldn't probably put as much effort into it as you guys. I mean, it sounds like there was a whole team sport going on there, but yeah, that sounds like a lot to deal with. And now let me ask this: like you said, most of the time it would kind of end up towards the breakers, towards the base of the pier.
Sometimes.
How often? And I know I've seen this with like tarpon, people wanting to get down with tarpon. How often would you have to do like a rod hand down? How often would you never do a?
I've seen it once.
Yeah.
Seen it once?
No, I watched a guy catch, almost a 200-pound tarpon, 170 or something.
yeah, I think he's talking on a king mackerel.
Oh,
right?
king
Well,
mackerel,
either-
yeah.
either
There was
way.
a tarpon
Yeah.
caught to where the guy fought it for 6 hours. He ended up almost running out of line. They had like a 6-aught.
Yeah.
And they let it down. He went on the beach and got on the beach and physically just took off running.
Just gone with it. That's what I was wondering.
That's
too,
the
if
only
there-
one I can
If there was
remember.
an inner or situation where you would be like, "Hey, man, I'm getting low. If he takes off again, I need to."
You got to think about these setups too. I mean, we are fishing typically, we'll say, like a 6-aught
Yeah.
with 65-pound braid. We have 1,000 yards of line. Like, we're not getting despooled.
Yeah. So you could lock that thing down.
But it depends. There's different styles of people. Robbie could tell you there's guys that'll let them run and they horse them in, and you got showboaters that'll, they'll tell the band to crank up the music and just let them run.
And just fight
And
it
they
for 2 hours.
Yeah.
That's hilarious. So those tournaments that you guys were talking about, is that kind of maybe possibly where you guys got really interested in doing the kingfish
Oh, for
stuff?
sure.
Yes.
Yeah, no
Yeah.
doubt. Yeah, I started doing that. I think I won my first check when I was 11
What? Nice.
in a
Nice.
king mackerel tournament on the
Nice.
pier, and I didn't win, but I finished 4th or 5th
that's a
or
check,
something.
dude.
You got second.
Whatever, yeah, maybe second. I want at the time it was a lot of money for me, and
what
I
I'm saying,
remember
as a
my
kid,
parents had to like.
Giving you money to fish?
I went to the
mean,
bank with my parents, and they opened up a child savings account and like put it in there and all that.
No way.
It was yeah.
That's cool.
But it was at a young age, yeah, and I think Jason won.
Yeah, I won at 15.
Nice.
Yeah, yeah.
And that was that same rodeo, or did they have other tournaments?
It was the same thing.
Same one.
Now, would
So
some
that-
of the piers put on their own own kind of tournaments, like an individual, or were they always just kind of?
I think they do now, but
They
back
do now,
then-
not at the
Not
time.
then. Gotcha.
It was like a battle. Like you had, your best 25 fishermen at Surfside, your best 25 at Apache.
Gotcha.
And there was a lot of trash talking, and we were just very, very lucky because for whatever reason during that time frame, Garden City was. I mean, we had a day. What was the best? 17, 21.
I remember one time, so and I didn't catch a fish in this one, but there were a lot of fish caught. And back in my day, I used to surf. Probably surfing was probably number one and fishing was number two, but I used to surf contests. And so there was a contest at the second beach access in Garden City.
Yo, was that Yucca or?
Yeah,
Oh,
or somewhere, or right below it, whichever one that is. But anyways, I was in the King Mackerel tournament and I was in the surfing contest.
At the same time.
And they would let me know whenever my heat was coming up to surf, and I left my board on the beach.
run down the pier.
And I was on
Run
the
down
pier, and I was watching
heat, and
and
then go
doing my
back up and
thing,
keep
and I would go
fishing?
down and like win a heat surfing, and out of that run back up to the pier. And I just remember it was like I was steady man-hating like all the way up and down the beach, right?
Nuts.
And there was like 7 before my first heat that day. It was like 7 fish caught or something crazy for a pier, which is insane.
Yeah,
And they were all like 30-pounders,
All 30s.
And I didn't want to leave, but I had to, like,
Yeah.
because back then I was
I mean, in
surfing,
theory, that's a
yeah.
really good day. You
Yeah.
win the
I
surf
mean,
competition, win the King Mackerel. That's
the
like
same time.
they call that double dipping. That's
Yeah,
like.
but I
we
was
call that
going. I was going back and forth. I was running down to the bottom of the end of the pier, base of the pier, running down the beach and surfing my heat last minute. I just grabbing my board and running out there with everyone else.
Don't even have time to wait on the
And
right set.
I
Just,
wouldn't,
just hit
yeah,
him.
and I wouldn't even wait on the results. Like I just run back up to the pier and like, all right, I know I made it. Like I'll see you guys for the next one. The semifinals or whatever.
So did that? All right. So talking about tournaments on the pier and then kind of transitioning here, did that lead you into? Obviously, that led. Jason's talked about this before. Led down the charter fishing path, and you guys kind of did something similar paths together with that. And we've talked about that before. But that also kind of introduced you into the Kingfish tournament itself, like just doing Kingfish tournaments. And how did you remember your first tournament? Either of you guys, and what what drove you to take that leap from the pier, and then what you learned going into, kingfishing from a boat?
I learned I needed to make more money to be able to do it.
But you can attest to this. I mean, that was a different time.
It was.
It was a different time. If you had a
Yeah.
21-foot center console, you had a shot.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, that day is come and gone
Yeah.
in that world. I mean, these guys are fishing $7-8 million boats.
Oh,
you
yeah.
know,
For kingfish tournaments.
for a kingfish tournament.
I know.
And I think that world's the kingfish tournament world is kind of at a crossroads where like there's not enough new guys being
Yeah.
introduced to it. I hate to say this, but like, and the bigwigs, if you will, are not as interested anymore.
Yeah.
And there needs to be, and the Cape Lookout Studio, they do a good job with this as far as like they have a classic series that coincides with their tournaments where it's for the small guy,
Yeah.
right? For the
Yeah.
23.
That's always my favorite is the small boat series.
right.
You know what I
And
mean?
so they're trying to build it in that way, and that's awesome. But there needs to be some new guys come
Well,
along in
I mean,
that world.
look at the fishing and how much it's changed the last.
bad.
Yeah,
It's bad.
changed the last few years. I mean, I can imagine that has a lot to do with it.
It does,
Pops,
yeah.
you talked to us about back in the day when you did the kingfish tournaments. In the
Yeah,
80s and
Kind
whatnot.
of upset the apple cart a while back.
I mean, how many hundreds of kings, did you get to reel in when doing these tournaments and making a little tournament show for yourself?
Oh yeah, when I was 18 years old, I won the Arthur Smith King Mackerel tournament.
Yeah.
Had 1,000 boats in it,
Nice.
and they couldn't.
Wow.
And they couldn't believe that I was 18 years old.
And what was the boat that you used to win it?
20-foot Sea Ox, jetty jumper,
That's right. Yep.
1,000 boats.
Yeah.
1,028 boats.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Goodness,
I've
that
heard,
sounds like some U.S. Open
I've
numbers.
heard about.
right
Well,
there.
I've heard
the-
about that tournament.
That
I-
Arthur
I-
Smith tournament
yeah.
got so big that the Coast Guard made them. They told the tournament committee that you open it up to other inlets or we're pulling your permit.
Just because there were so
because
many boats trying to leave
the
one
year
place.
before that, they had 900 boats trying to go out of Little River Inlet
Oh, wow.
at one time. People
Yeah.
were getting run over.
Oh.
You know, it was crazy. And so they opened it up. And
Now I remember there was a little something. Now correct me if I'm wrong. There was something that stayed when I was growing up. There was something that stayed in our house that was from that tournament.
yeah, it was a big wooden check.
No, the check. What was you also didn't you get you got something that you sold and there was
The cat.
There was
The
a
cat.
porcelain cat
It's still in the
in
house.
my house. For
There
the
is a
years
white-
and years. Hold
there's
on, there's a porcelain
Go ahead.
cat that I grew up looking at and just wondering where did this white Persian porcelain cat come from? And then the old man tells me when he won this tournament, he won a check and what was it, a mobile home to go with it? What a mobile home! And so he decided to sell the mobile home, but he wanted something from it. And you went into this mobile home.
They didn't give me a trophy
Yeah.
for the tournament.
Yeah,
I got a wooden check,
yeah,
and that's probably still somewhere in the shed.
yeah.
And I got check with a lot of money and a mobile home. So when
What a
I
house.
sold, yeah,
I mean,
won a
tournament director.
Yeah.
Like,
Come
put
on.
in a mobile
I won
home,
a-
you know.
I
You want
won
some
a
boats to fish.
12 by 77 mascot mobile home.
That's awesome.
You know, I was
Can we
18
bring,
I
can we
was
bring
eight-
that back to King Mackerel tournaments?
Yeah.
I want a big check and a mobile home. Screw the money.
Yeah.
I want that big check. You know, the giant one.
Well, I was
Yeah. The one I can hang up in my mobile home.
I was 18 years old, and I didn't know,
You didn't
I
get a
had no
trophy.
need to move out of the house yet. So,
Yeah.
you know, so I sold the mobile home. And when the people came and picked it up, I'm like, I got to have something to remember this by. I don't have a trophy. I don't have anything. So I hopped up in the mobile home, and this thing was completely furnished all the way down to the little napkin holders with napkins on the table. And
Salt and
Yeah.
pepper
Ready
in
to
the
move
pantry.
oh, yeah. And there was this white ceramic cat sitting on the floor holding a door open. So I grabbed that ceramic cat and
Tucked it under your arm and went to walking.
yeah,
That
and
was-
took
I wa-
it
I
out
wonder-
before the people. So it's still at the house. I can bring it to you, show it to you. People looked at it, they want to throw it away all the time. What are we doing? I say, hell no, that's a $40,000 cat.
You
ain't
got to
throwing
keep the cat.
Yeah, you can't.
That's
funny.
hilarious.
So do you? This
Is that your favorite cat of all time?
Of course.
Where is that cat?
I'm just asking.
You still
It's
have-
under the coffee table
That's-
right now
that's
at
what I'm
home.
saying. I grew up.
I'll bring
always
it the
wondered-
next podcast.
I
Just sit
think
here at home.
I
It needs
think
to
you
be a
should put the
mascot.
cat.
Just
porcelain
throw
cat.
it in here.
Yeah.
Put the
let's
cat
do
on your lap.
There you
It
go.
is-
I'll sit here with the
Oh,
cat
dude, it
on my
looks
lap.
like straight out of Goldfinger, Doctor
Ooh.
Evil.
Oh yeah, it's
Get
that
you
white
next
cat.
time, Mr. Bun. White person.
No comment.
Do either one of y'all remember your first King tournament on a boat? Once you transitioned from the pier,
What was the guy that took us king fishing? Your buddy, Greg or Gary or?
That was Gunnar Hyatt's dad. He used to own H&C's Fish House back in the day, him and his brother.
Oh, you talking about Mitchell Hyatt?
His brother,
His
Brother?
brother?
I can't remember.
Gene.
Gene.
Gene
That's
Hyatt.
it.
Gene
Oh
Hyatt?
yeah,
Hyatt.
Gene. That was
Yeah.
that was Mitchell's nephew, I think.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, Gene ran it.
Yeah, that was our first King tournament in a boat. And I can't remember what he had.
Like a 21 angler or something.
I can't remember.
Something like that. It was a 21, 22 center console.
do you remember what tournament?
It was a fall brawl.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
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 That's a good one.
And it was
We caught fish too.
20 plus years. It was a long time
That was a
ago.
long time ago.
But yeah, we found a school of bluefish. Like we left out of Ocean Isle, Shallotte, Inlet or something, and we found a school of bluefish and fished around that all day. We were on the way to the jungle, so whichever line that took us. And yeah, but it was very rough and
Always is.
Yeah.
That's
Why,
never-
why is it every
never a
tournament?
common
I
day
didn't
it's
fish.
just
I
like-
didn't fish anymore after that for like a couple of years. I think.
Why? Just it was intense,
I don't know.
or
I
just
don't know. I really don't.
I
It
feel
was-
like King Mackerel tournament fishing goes in waves, where you are all in and you fish all these tournaments, and then you get burned out and you don't fish. You're like, man, I'm not. Why do I do this to myself? I get beat to snot. I don't catch anything. I'm wasting money, and then you go a couple years and you're like, I I kind of want to do this again, and then you hit a hot
money,
streak.
man. Like there's as much money like in boats and stuff in this king tournaments as there's in billfish tournaments.
Yeah.
Probably
Oh,
more.
yeah.
Yeah, that's pretty wild to me.
I mean, aside from Big Rock, there's probably more money in king mackerel fishing than bill fishing.
That's crazy.
And the crazy thing is
Nobody's making money.
well, the money
No.
now, the money now doesn't compare to the money back then. I mean, they had the FLW tour, they had the Walmart tour. I
Yeah.
mean, these guys were fishing on
Well,
Saturdays for $100,000.
Yeah, and we're fishing this Saturday for $100,000. But the difference is the FLW tour and Walmart paid for. They had sponsorships through Walmart, and there was
bigger
a Kellogg's
sponsors?
boat, and it was
Yeah.
like
M&M's.
it was like NASCAR.
Yeah.
You know,
It was NASCAR. when
Randy
we fished.
Griffin and Joe Winslow and all those guys were.
Shout out
you
my
know,
Yep.
but now today we're fishing for the other competitors' money. There's no
Yeah.
sponsorship money in it whatsoever. There's zero.
That's tough to hear. I mean, I hope it kind of comes back because it seems like in the heyday it was pretty happening. I mean, you know, especially for legacies like this where you're starting out, you got kids on piers trying to catch kings now that would love the opportunity to maybe go, you know,
On a boat or
That's
on
the
a
sad
boat.
thing. I don't know that they'll ever get the chance that we got.
Well, and see, you
I think that
sit
we-
next
we-
to another one that's done. He's kind of like we've talked about this before. The step down
Right.
effect. You know, like the amount of kings that were here in his day versus the amount of kings that are here.
Well, Robbie
that,
can
that were
attest
here
to
5
it. I
years
mean,
ago versus now. So
We had the first year that we fished Surfside. I mean, this was pre-dredging.
yeah,
Correct me if I'm wrong. I mean, just to give you a ballpark, like the year before they dredged, they caught 375 king mackerel on the pier.
Yeah.
The year after they dredged, they caught 9. Is that right?
So, I mean, something.
So I mean, like that day,
Yeah.
the world changed. But you know, before they had ever dredged, you had live bottom that mimicked Belky Bear and other spots
Yep.
at the end of piers. Like Springmaid, there's a reef. At
There
the
was
end of the pier.
there was a day at Springmaid Pier where they caught 77 king mackerel
Yeah.
in one
No
day
way.
with like 12 guys.
Yeah,
wow.
Oh my God.
no, that's no joke.
Yeah.
Dude, that would be an interesting idea, though. I mean, I've always thought about we got to continue to build our reefs and stuff, but thinking about those
We got to
places,
quit the beach re-nourishment.
Yeah.
That's
That is the worst name, and I could go into from a marine science standpoint why that is the best PR campaign ever because there is no nourishing.
money.
It
Money
is-
and land.
It is
If the
strictly
land starts going away, the
it
money
is
goes away too.
cyanide to a beach.
I know. I get it.
But
But
yeah,
it.
they call it re-nourishment and makes it sound good.
um,
Thank you for coming to my TED Talk. My name's Capt. Quentin. You want to hear me talk about sea turtles? I'll do that too.
so yeah, I mean, king fishing here, guys. I'm from pier fishing to the boats, tournament
Got one
fishing.
waving at you.
I mean, it's still. Robbie, obviously, you're going to do a tournament this coming weekend.
Yeah.
I mean, it's still in our hearts, though, right? I mean,
Oh,
it's,
for
it's,
sure.
It's
Yeah.
gonna be. It's a mainstay
Yeah, I don't
here.
have the time or resources, and I've got youngin and school and everything that's going on, and it's hard for me to do what I did 10 years ago
Yeah.
as far as putting into it. But I still want to win just as bad.
Absolutely, a win's a win, right?
Yeah, but I mean, as far as to kind of wrap the pier thing up, I'd like to say like I learned more about king mackerel and how they feed and things of that nature from the pier than I have on a boat.
Really?
I agree. I agree 100%.
Is that just because like how you could watch
You can
the
see
nature
them.
of the fish?
You
and
can
how-
watch them.
And I was the kid that on the
being
pier.
that bird's eye view, right?
You're 30 feet up. I was the kid on the pier that never left the rail. Like, so you got all the anchor rods and the fighting rods on the end of the pier, and I would stand there all day. Like, I didn't care to catch a 12-inch flounder,
Yeah.
down the pier or whatever. Like, I wasn't into
Just
that.
staring at that anchor.
I
rod.
would stare at all those baits swimming around on the surface, like they're a kite bait or something from a boat. And when a fish comes into that spread or whatever, the end of the pier, you see them, and you see,
Cool.
and this is one little nugget, like every time a king mackerel would come up to a bait, like the first bait he came to is a bait he ate every single time.
Nick, give me some pen and
Once
paper.
he made that,
Give me some pen and paper. I got to make some notes here.
once he made that choice, like he just locked in.
When
Now, do you think-
I saw that fish for the first time and he
Yeah.
came up on a bait, it may be a pogie,
Yeah.
there might be a bluefish here, there might be a pinfish, there might be whatever.
Now, do you think that there's any kind of?
It didn't matter what the bait was; they went back and ate that first bait.
Do
Every
you think
time.
there's any kind of natural instinct for him to hone in on that one first, or do you think it was just because that was the one he saw first?
Probably that's the one he saw first.
But Robbie can attest though. same conversation. I mean, you got 25 guys up there floating baits.
Yeah.
Everybody in their mind wants to be different. Me and him have stood on that rail
Yeah.
and watched where every single person had pogies.
Yeah.
And one guy's got a pinfish.
Yeah.
The pinfish gets eaten every time.
And that king mackerel,
They love a pinfish.
you can ask Robbie.
Yeah.
I have watched a king mackerel sky
On a pin.
over 6 people's baits. I mean, take off here, jump over 5 or 6 pogies, and land on that pinfish. But like Robbie said, before all that happened, he came up and looked.
Yep.
So he would come up and look because that pinfish, he'd run around 100 miles an hour, and everybody would go to the rail like something's about to happen.
Yeah.
And he'd just run and run.
Seen all the baits
and
get
then he would
nervous.
calm down. And when he calmed down, boom, he'd rocket him every time.
That's got to be.
I've
intense.
watched them eat dead mullet.
Mm-hmm.
Like, there's guys that will set their stuff out and not look at it for hours.
Oh, yeah. Mullet's belly up, just kind of like hanging out.
Well, I've seen it be like the current and like it's northeast or whatever, and the mullet's kind of skipping through the waves.
Oh.
It's dead. I mean,
dead.
Yeah.
It's
Oh, that's.
yeah.
But it's got
it's got rigor mortis.
some
Like,
pseudo
it's
life.
dead.
Yeah.
But yeah, a king mackerel. I've watched them literally eat a dead mullet versus a bunch of pretty live baits.
Now, with that being said, I know your favorite story is Mustang Sally.
Mustang Sally.
Mustang Sally's our favorite story.
Let's hear about a Mustang.
So
Sally.
I definitely want Robbie to tell this story, but the essence of the story is a song and movement. So I want Robbie to tell the story.
Mustang Sally, there's this guy, man, we met him at Garden City Pier. His name's Donnie Tucker. He's a great dude. His wife designed the plans for my house that I built. But he used to king mackerel fish on the pier and all that. And he liked to have a few drinks. And there was always the band playing. The difference in Garden City and all the other piers is like they were more fishing. Garden City is more drinking, partying.
Oh, yeah.
Which is cool.
It's a good time.
Yeah.
12 out of 10.
I go up there and
Yeah.
reminisce and have a
Yeah,
drink
yeah.
and
We
like,
should-
I've never fished off the pier, but
Side
I've had a
note-
lot
side
of Pabst
note.
Blue Ribbons there.
Let's set a date and we go invade the Garden City.
yeah,
Done.
that would be awesome.
100%.
Dude,
You
we'll
had
take
the best time
the
of your life.
wireless mics and go up there and just talk about anything.
Yeah. So Mustang Sally. Long story short, Donnie Tucker caught 3 or 4 king mackerel in these tournaments that only happened twice a year, while Mustang Sally was playing by the band. And every
Now,
band.
the same band or different
no,
bands?
every
Wow.
band that played up there played
Mustang Sally. I mean, that's
those
it. Yeah.
those songs. And,
Classic rock, Leonard
yeah,
Skinner.
yeah.
And Donnie, I remember one time Donnie Tucker had a few drinks and his rod took off and Mustang Sally was playing. He had seaweed. Somebody had caught, how the seaweed floats around.
Oh,
and
yeah,
stuff.
the
He had it on
sargassum.
his head and he's turned around facing the band and he's dancing. The rod's over his shoulder pointing back out towards the ocean. And the fish is running and he's just dancing and he's like Mustang, he's just singing it,
Now the kicker.
That's
in
my
all-
kind of king mackerel fishing.
And the kicker in all this is he won every time the song came on.
Every time the song came
And
on.
the last one-
I would pay that
I was
band
about to
whatever
say,
my entry
Dude,
fee was.
yeah.
Here's
Be forking out money.
$500. You play Mustang Sally on repeat. You get one song every hour that's not Mustang Sally, so you guys don't cause a riot.
Ask Robbie. I think it was the last one. The last one, Mustang Sally came on. He walked up to us and said, "Get
Yeah,
ready."
yeah.
Everybody got to the rails, and literally during the middle of the song, fish rocketed. He won the tournament. He called his shot. That's the one he's talking about.
No, that's for real. And
100%. We live this life.
One thing
Sick.
that Donnie used to do, and it took me a while to catch on to it, back then in those tournaments, we used to draw for spots. So like the
Yep,
left
position
side
on, like,
of the
the
pier
pier,
would
yeah.
be like 1, 2, 3, and every 5 feet you'd have a rod, right?
Yep.
And Donnie would always have his bait, like Jason was talking about earlier, like anchor rod tight. You're trying to send the bait out, all
Yeah.
that stuff.
Closest.
You'd have it straight down.
Straight down.
Straight down.
So, and his theory was the fish is running the beach and he's not going through the pier, he's cutting the pier. So,
Gotcha.
whenever
So he hits that wall and he turns and goes down the pylons,
his
and that bait's going to be like right
It's
there.
the
Right in
jetty
front of 'em.
effect. It's the
Yeah.
mullet
Yeah.
mullet
Yeah.
school's
right,
jetty effect.
right
Yeah.
in front of him.
That's smart.
Yeah, and people were trying to push him out as far as they
They can, yeah, try to
and
get
all
that
that
fish
stuff.
going
And
down the
Donnie's just
beach.
got his. I mean, you look straight down, his bait's right there, 10 feet from the pylons.
Smart.
Yeah.
Smart.
So
That's
he still
hilarious.
fishes. Donnie fishes on Surfside Pier.
Nice.
Like to this day, I see pictures of him. He caught a king mackerel a couple months ago.
In
Let's
fact,
go- we'll have to go
he
visit.
caught a cobia 2 weeks ago,
Yeah.
or a
Yeah.
tarpon, excuse me.
Yeah.
Mustang Style, that's pretty funny. So I'm sure you guys got some other pretty funny stories from king fishing off the pier. Jason's got a smirk on his face. So what's let me hear what you got there, Joe.
You want to tell it? Or you want me to tell it?
You tell it.
Oh, God.
It's yours. It's yours.
Cheeks.
So-
I was just there for it, but it's
Okay,
your
so
story.
here's the story that for the latter half of my teenage years created a nickname that I don't think I got rid of till my mid-20s.
Oh boy.
We're fishing a king mackerel tournament. It's 1997. I'll tell you how old I am. And this particular tournament, you know, everybody was catching king mackerel. Me and Robbie, I don't know, 15. So what were you, 11?
Yeah, probably.
15, 11. So everybody's catching kings. We're kind of, you know, we're not catching anything. We're kids. you
Goofing
know?
off, messing around.
So we're like, all right, you know, I don't remember if it was Robbie or we had another friend named Adam, but one of them said, hey,
Tree
man.
cutting Adam?
No,
Oh.
no, this is a whole different story. So
White
one
pill
of
and
our
yellow
buddies
pill.
shows up and he goes, hey, man, I went to the arcade and won this slingshot. And I got a bag of marbles.
back,
He goes,
back when you could win weapons at the arcade.
weapons. So me and Robbie are like, you know, these people caught fish. Like, this guy's probably already won the tournament. Like,
Oh no.
just cause some problems.
Oh,
So
no.
they had been trash talking. At
We're
this
killing
point,
baits.
we're killing baits.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we decide we're going to get the slingshot, and when nobody's looking, we're going to shoot all their baits.
Take out the
And because if all their baits are dead, we haven't caught anything all day, the king mackerel will have no other choice but then eat ours.
Could you imagine if we did that nowadays with a
we're
slingshot
trolling next
shooting
to each other.
Freemans and
Yeah.
contenders and Onslows?
Robbie,
We'd cause a rebellion.
Robbie will tell you, it took us a little while to get to accuracy, but I mean, the one guy had like a 5-pound bluefish.
Boy, I
Yeah.
tell you what, I can hit a bluefish at 100 yards with a slingshot.
And the best part is like we didn't get caught to the end. So like people would come
How
up to
did they
rail
not
and be like,
see you walking down the pier with this slingshot, flipping baits?
you remember the old
Stealth.
slingshots where they were
Stealth.
so good that they would like sit on your forearm?
Oh, the armband ones.
Oh,
dude,
yeah,
those had
like these were
power.
like hunting.
Oh, the
ones.
wrist rocket.
Wrist rockets.
Oh, dude, those are the good ones. You got that at the arcade.
So these guys kept coming down. They're like, I don't understand. My bait keeps dying. Me and Robbie are just.
it's got this big
having-
dimple in the forehead. Oh,
These guys
It's
were
got a
all
hole.
having some beverages
so
and like
people are
you know,
drunk.
like
There's already been 12 to 15 Kings caught. So there's a lot of celebratory drinks. Like the one guy is
he
in the
already
lead.
thinks he's got it
he
in the
thinks
bag.
he's going to win. So.
Yep.
We mess up. There's a guy named Jay Jackson. And I'm going to give him a shout out because that's my boy. We're sneaking around the corner and we drop his bait. Well, he sees what we're doing
Oh, snap.
and kind of relays the message. He says, hey, you know, these kids are killing our baits. And he said, oh, we're going to get them back. So, moral of the story is they were planning something, but something, you know, never transpired. So, in the mix of all this, Lady Luck calls my number and my reel takes off.
Oh, boy.
So, I've got to run. We did not see the strike. I was on number 9. All we knew is that my reel was on.
he remembers what number he
I
was.
do. I remember stupid things. My wife-
1997, number 9.
1997, number 9.
That's the lottery ticket he plays to this day.
So the reel's taking off, and you know, I pick it up, and I'm like, "Did anybody see it? Anybody see it?" Nobody's seen it. So we're fighting this king mackerel. Well, Jay was like, "Hey, they've been messing with us all day. I'm gonna get him." So he decides to come up. At this time, you know, we're talking about 1997, so we're in the Michael Jordan era. So
97.
Nike.
So I've got these Nike, you know, gym shorts on, no boxers. You know, it's hot, so you know.
Jason used to dunk when he was in 8th grade.
Jason achieved his maximum height in the 6th grade, and it never got better. So, anyways, I'm out there with these, you know.
Old basketball shorts.
We didn't have stretchy shorts back then. We didn't have great board shorts. So I got these stretchy shorts. Next thing I know, I'm fighting the fish. He comes up behind me and pantses me. And all I know,
Drawers to the floor.
oh yeah, drawers to the floor. I'm fighting the fish. I have no idea.
Did you
All
have-
I know is
Did you at least have boxers on?
no, no.
Just basketball shorts.
Yeah, and I'm gonna
Looks
tell
like
you.
the wind blows the wrong
Oh
way.
yeah.
So everything's swinging in the breeze.
Oh, we're 15 years old.
And you're
We don't
running down
know
the pier.
anything about life. We think we're awesome. But all I know is I got a king on the line, so I literally kicked the shorts off and continue to
Keep
fight
on
the
running.
fish. And lo and behold,
It was
that
the,
fish was big enough
it was the
He
right
won.
one.
He won
to win the King
Yeah,
Mackerel
he
tournament.
won.
Oh, that's hilarious.
Butt ass naked.
Butt naked.
Half dressed won the
No
king
drawers,
tournament.
but
No
he won.
drawers.
So, all right. So I heard. What did
So
they
tell him, Robbie, for years, half of the people that I fished with never knew my real name.
Cheeks.
Cheeks.
My name was Cheeks because they said because I surfed, that I had the pastiest, whitest butt.
Yeah,
you
whenever they came down, Jason
Oh,
pinned
yeah.
himself against the rail.
Oh,
and
yeah,
he was
yeah.
like, don't see the front.
Yeah, I didn't want you to see the front. You can look at the back all day
Scooch you
long.
down the- scooch you down the ramp, back and forth.
I'm a grower, not a shower.
splinters
So,
here.
Well, I think from now on, man, if you're out trolling for kings and we call out Cheeks on the radio,
Yeah,
It's
you
all
gotta, you gotta drop trout.
He's going to hear it tomorrow.
Oh, over
Jack,
now.
Jack, in the on the headboats, did they ever have like a king mackerel pot or king mackerel tournament on the headboats when you were running them?
We kind of actually put one in the tournament one time that they wasn't expecting.
No, quit lying.
Yeah, yeah. Guy I worked for, I ran a 74-foot headboat, and he had 3 sons and had promised his 3 sons that they could fish in the King Mackerel tournament that year.
Mm-hmm.
Well, it progressed, and they never had a boat. And I didn't have a boat to help them out. So a few days before the tournament, I was told, hey, we're taking your headboat off the schedule, and would you take the boys in the King Mackerel tournament
Dang,
fishing?
you got to take the whole head boat, the whole 75-foot boat, and put it in
5 of us.
No matter how
Oh.
rough it is, he's going to make it
I
to
was
where
about
he
to
wants
say.
to go.
Oh, yeah, we were praying for, 20, 30 knots.
Absolutely.
Could you imagine?
The funny thing
running
was,
down the beach,
Right.
just slow trot,
How do you throw the cast net?
Or set up a drift.
set up a drift.
You trying to cast that off the pulpit?
Quentin, the second day out, I'm clipping along. It's about 5 foot, at least 5 to 6 foot. I'm clipping along at 19 or 20 knots, and only a few boats. When I started off, 100 boats went by me, and then slowly, I'm the only one.
Real man.
I'm out, and I'm going along, and I'm the only one clipping along. And I've got my feet kicked back up on the dash, and we're rolling.
Yeah.
And then a few boats starts passing me and flipping me off. I mean, they come by, and they get by the wheelhouse, and I'm getting birds flipped, and I'm like, what's up with these people, I don't even know them, and they're flipping me off, But what I didn't know was Channing and Troy were back there at the ass end of the boat. And when they were all trying to follow us so we could break the wake down,
Oh, no.
and they're throwing bait at them, mooning them, showing them the cheeks, mooning them, they're doing everything,
I mean-
So when they finally cut out and couldn't handle it no more and go around me, I'm getting flipped off. Finally Robert came up there, and I'm like, what the hell's all these people flipping me off for going out? They said, oh, it's Channing and Troy. And I look back there, and they're throwing squid at boats. But now we get out there and we fish.
Yeah.
We won stuff in the tournament because
nice.
because we
Well, I
were
mean,
like
you're
the
the
only
only one?
boat that could get
far as
25
you
miles
got.
offshore and fish, So yeah, we won a plethora of tackle boxes, fishing rods.
But you didn't take
all
home the
kinds of
gold?
stuff.
You didn't take
Huh?
the winning
No,
fish?
we didn't. But we're fishing on the boat, and it's 74 foot long. So me and Robert's fishing on the bow, and Channing and Troy are fishing on the stern, and we don't know who's catching what. Because they're all the way back there, and finally they come up one drift and going, man, why are we drifting here? We aren't hardly getting anything. Me and Robert looked at each other and going, wow, where you been? We got 5 kings in the box.
I have a question. How many rods spread did you fish?
Yeah, what were the rules?
What
Yeah.
was the
Well,
maximum?
is there a tournament
I
where they
don't
don't have a maximum lines in the water?
Well, when they went to put the entry fee in, they had to look up all the rules to see if we were too big and we could only have 6 people, and we were supposed to only fish 6 rods. But, when you're 25 miles offshore, who's going to...
All I'm saying is we can find a king tournament where there's no minimum on rods. Let's rent out the new Inlet.
Hey.
Look
And
up
then
there.
I'll fly the kite.
Let's do.
You know,
can
we can
fly
have
drift
3
lines,
kites. We can have some
kite.
drift
It'd be like
lines.
a 25
Oh, you
rod
can put like
spread.
5 kites out on the
Oh
principal.
gosh.
There's
Yeah,
guys
turn her-
fishing
turn
3
her
kites
sideways.
I was gonna say, and then you
now.
start-
Yeah, well,
Then
I'm
you
saying
start-
let's let her wobble.
You start
let's
beating
have
the
a,
bottom at the same time, and you got the biggest chum block you've ever seen.
But
in
we
your
used
life.
to be
Dude,
able to
let's
go
roll.
out there 20
I'm
miles
down.
offshore.
That sounds like my kind of party.
That's
you know,
pretty
and
funny.
drift and catch all kind of kings
Yeah.
like that. But yeah, the funnest part of the whole thing for me was they had the weigh-in at Crazy Sister Marina, where it used to be Captain
Captain
Dick.
Dick's
All right, we ran the head boat out of the Murrells Inlet Marina over here.
next door.
We were kind of competitors or whatever. So guess what? We had kings we had to weigh in.
So you got to
know?
pull the head boat
So
in over
I'm
on
pulling
the,
up in the lineup with, 10 or 12 little boats. What I would, looking over top of little boats, waiting my turn to get in to unload the kings.
Where did you tie up at? You say I'm gonna park at the fuel dock.
Well, that's what they did for us. The game warden come out, and I knew one of the game wardens on the boat. He came out and goes, Captain Jack, you don't need to stand in this line. You can go on in, to your marina. And I just laughed at him and walked inside and got my king number and walked out. And I said, dude, I got fish to weigh in. and he's like, right out of his mouth, his face drops and goes, oh, crap. And he says, hang on a minute. And he takes off back to the marina. I'm out in the main channel lined up. So he goes into the marina. 5 minutes later, back out again. And he says, the slip that everybody is weighing the fish in, don't go there. There's an open slip over here. You come follow me right now. So I got to go in there and spin it around, put it in the Captain Bill 3 slip right in front of the marina, and everybody from the other marinas looking like, okay, why is the Thunderbird docked in our marina? And I pull it in and trash can full of kings.
Yeah, I'm with Q on this one.
If
Next
we
time-
run out,
the
we
next-
never have to worry about weather again.
Dude, we'll,
No.
we'll get up with them and say, hey, private charter the princess.
We got a live well.
kite rods. Oh, gee,
That might
we
be
can
go
go
pen bait up.
That might be the only
10 of us.
time a head boat has competed in a king tournament that I've heard
Yeah,
of.
probably
Yeah.
so.
Could you imagine if we anchored at Area 51 in October and
God.
all of us
Kite fished.
Kite fish,
kite
drift
fish,
rods.
drift line, OJs? I mean,
boy.
come on.
Jackson rig.
Yeah.
Boys, it sounds like a wonderful time. That's awesome. For pier fishing,
I would pay good money to
head
be
boat.
on that boat.
Boat King tournament fishing. Guys, I enjoyed it. That was awesome. Guys, stay tuned for the next one. Tight lines. I don't know what to say. Thanks for watching. Be sure to like, subscribe, and turn on notifications so you never miss an episode. If you're in the Murrells Inlet or Myrtle Beach area, come check us out live. And if you're looking to get on the water, check out our sponsors that help support this channel. Link in the description below. Thanks for watching. Tight lines, and we'll see you on the water.